Romeo and Juliet, Act 4 Summary. Act 4, Scene 1. The scene begins at Friar Lawrence's cell. The friar is talking with Paris about his upcoming marriage to Juliet. The friar utters concern about the haste of the arrangement, but Paris replies that Lord Capulet thinks it best as Juliet weeps too much over Tybalt's death. Juliet enters, and Paris is keen to emphasize that Juliet will soon be his wife, and arrogantly instructs her to tell the friar of her love for him. Juliet cleverly avoids making any loving remarks, and instead acts with indifference. The friar then ushers Paris away, claiming that Juliet must make confession to him alone. Following Paris's exit, Juliet begs the friar to offer help, drawing a knife and threatening she will end her life without a solution. Seeing Juliet's desperation, the friar proposes a plan, telling Juliet to consent to the wedding, but on the night before to drink a potion which will make her appear dead. As Juliet's body will be laid in the Capulet tomb, the friar says he will send word to Romeo in Mantua. Romeo will come and take Juliet with him when she wakes. Juliet agrees with the plan and exits with, "Love, give me strength, and strength shall help afford." To analyse this scene, consider how Shakespeare explores the themes of passion and violence through Juliet's desperate threat of suicide to the friar. Shakespeare foreshadows Juliet's tragic fate in the action of her drawing a knife on herself. She commands the friar, "Be not so long to speak. I long to die, if what thou speakest speak not of remedy." She is portrayed as both bold and forthright here. However, her desperation also leads to an arguably rash decision to trust the friar's extreme plan to fake her death. The audience can admire her bravery in this moment, yet Shakespeare also considers the connection between young love and irrational behaviour. Act 4, Scene 2. Lord and Lady Capulet are making plans for Juliet's wedding when Juliet returns from confession with the friar. She surprises them by repenting of her refusal to marry Paris, saying, "Where I have learned me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests," and kneeling before her father. Capulet is delighted by her apparent change of heart, and as Juliet exits, he continues to swiftly plan the wedding. In this scene, consider how Shakespeare represents the conflict between true love and patriarchal power. Juliet's exaggerated apology includes religious language in "repent the sin of disobedient opposition," which reinforces the Elizabethan view that for a daughter to disobey her father is a sin against God. Tension is created through Shakespeare's use of dramatic irony, since the audience is well aware that Juliet is deceiving her father. Again, Juliet's cunning and resilience presents her as a strong and resourceful character. Act 4, Scene 3. Juliet is in her bedroom and asks the nurse to let her be alone, since she must pray for God's blessing. Lady Capulet then enters, asking if Juliet needs any help, but Juliet urges her to go with the nurse to make preparations for the wedding instead. Finally alone, Juliet utters a desperate soliloquy where she begins to doubt the friar's plan, first questioning if the vial really contains poison that the friar might seek to cover up his own sin in marrying her to Romeo. Juliet next considers the possibility of her waking in the Capulet tomb and suffocating before Romeo can arrive. Finally, she sees a vision of Tybalt's ghost seeking out Romeo. She begs Tybalt to stop in "Stay, Tybalt, stay," before uttering Romeo's name 3 times, drinking the potion, and collapsing upon her bed. In this short scene, consider Shakespeare's use of soliloquy to reveal Juliet's fear and anxiety over the plan. Shakespeare breaks up the rhythm of iambic pentameter using caesura throughout the soliloquy. Look at her broken speech in the line, "No, no, this shall forbid it. Lie thou there. In addition, Shakespeare's repetitive use of questions also represents Juliet's troubled mind. These questions allow us to sympathize with Juliet's fragile state of mind, and as she takes the potion, Shakespeare emphasizes her desperate resolve to be with Romeo, no matter the consequences. Act 4, Scene 4. It is the morning of Juliet's wedding to Paris. With no one yet aware of Juliet's condition, the household is busy with servants making preparations. Capulet noisily orders about the servants. He then instructs the nurse to wake Juliet and make haste, as Paris, the bridegroom, has arrived. Act 4, Scene 5. The nurse arrives in Juliet's bedchamber to find Juliet appearing dead. She wails in disbelief, calling Lord and Lady Capulet to the room. Lady Capulet cries out, "Alack, the day she's dead! She's dead! She's dead!" While Lord Capulet first checks her body for signs of life, then says he is lost for words. Next, the friar enters, along with Paris and a group of musicians. Paris joins with the others' sorrowful lamentations. The friar interrupts the others' wails of pain and urges them Juliet is in a better place. He takes charge, instructing that the body be taken to the church, and convinces the others to begin preparations for the funeral. They all exit. To analyze this scene, consider how Shakespeare employs dramatic imagery representing death to express the Capulet's sorrow and regret. Lord Capulet, in particular, seems utterly distraught, and Shakespeare uses personification in "Death is my son-in-law, death is my heir, my daughter he hath wedded, I will die and leave him all. Life, living, all is death's." This use of imagery powerfully characterizes death as Juliet's new husband, and emphasizes Capulet's obsession with marrying Juliet. As in many other scenes, the themes of love and death seem to be intertwined, as Shakespeare ushers the audience closer to the play's tragic conclusion.